What's going on, everybody? C4, and welcome to episode 3 of the Toronto Huskies Relocation Madden 19 franchise mode. I will tell you guys, because I know it's probably the pressing issue in a lot of you guys' mind, no, there has yet to be any progress in the sliding into the DMs of Jordan Poyer's ex-wife. We'll keep you posted as news comes in. I will straight up cut Jordan Poyer if she asks me to, okay? Okay, I'm not desperate. I'm satisfied in my personal life. But a beautiful woman like that, this guy cheats on her. I don't know, man. We might have to make a business decision. If she'll do, like, I don't know, twerking videos and stuff for my views, get more kids watching my stuff, I'll cut Jordan Poyer in a heartbeat. That being said, let's jump into the draft. I know my draft board. I know who you guys want me to draft. Let's see who is happy at the end of this thing. But looking at who's available, we still have Rashawn Gary. We have the top wide receiver. We have a bunch of tackles. Trey Adams. We got, looking at our tackle board, because we need to go heavy on the offensive line. There's still a lot of nice prospects here on the offensive line for us to look at. Trey Adams is a big one. We've actually used Trey Adams in a rebuild before, and I think he was high 70s, like a 78. We still got pretty much every top target on the offensive line available. Where I'm seeing this as is there's value in the second and third rounds at the right tackle spot. That's where we'll be able to get that. So this was the top pick from you guys that you want to see me draft, and I agree with it. I like the move. So we are going to select at pick 6. Actually, what we're going to do is see if we can trade down a couple spots. Give me a second here. That actually is worth value. If we can move down 3 or 4 spots, pick 28. I don't think so. We're not getting any 2019. We picked 20. Straight up, just give us your number 6 for 27. You got to be kidding me. 29. This is terrible, man. No one wants to move up a couple picks to select Drew Lock. No one's a quarterback needy team. Looking at you, Cincinnati, trying to offer me bullshit like that. I was actually going to try to trade down, but here we go. We're making the pick, and it is going to be Greedy Williams, the corner from LSU. You guys want to see that tandem between Greedy Williams and Tre'Davious White, and Greedy Williams for me is the best secondary player in this draft class, and he is an 80 overall superstar. He is a freak of nature. Don't really look at the draft analyst because it is kind of busted right now. It always says your player's number 1 and stuff like that. But Greedy Williams, 91 speed, 87 man. You get 91 acceleration, great jumping, 83 press. This is an aggressive corner that is a turnover machine. And him and Trey White, the future is bright in our secondary. And if we manage to hold on to Jordan Poyer, pair that with Micah Hyde, we have a freakishly good secondary. All right, we're sitting here at pick 6 in the second round, and we have our number 1 guy, I think, right there staring at us, Rodney Anderson from Oklahoma. Some of you guys know, you guys are going to know who Bryce Love is because he was in the Heisman race. You know maybe who Damon Harris is because he's Alabama. I'm pretty confident that Rodney Anderson, when all is said and done, he is going to be the first running back selected, which is why he is so highly regarded. He's a monster, man. He is a maybe better Joe Mixon. And remember when Joe Mixon was coming out of Oklahoma, he would have been a first, probably maybe the first or second, probably second back after Leonard Fournette selected, but he had all the off-field, so he was clearly going to slip down. So that is, I really think running back, life beyond LaShawn McCoy, already had, what, a 3-4 point regression is key. So while I'm looking at that, I do want to build up the offensive line. I do want to build up the defensive front 7, but I kind of have it played out in my head that if we get Rodney Anderson here in the second round, the third round, we could probably grab a right tackle. I'm liking the look of Michael Jordan here out of Ohio State. Great name, but he has great name if you like basketball, great name if you like acting. Both those Michael Jordans are the GOATs, but he has double B's for run block, impact blocking, and a 5.5 combine grade with 33 reps on the bench press, so that's nice. And then we can swing back around to the right guard spot in the 4th round, and you got Connor McGovern here, who is a scheme fit and has 3 B's across the board, plus 34 reps on the bench press. That way there, we can pretty much attack maybe the rest of the offensive line. The 5th round, we have not a whole lot of talent there, to be honest with you. Maybe Elton Jenkins can slip. But then we can more so look at improving the linebacking core a little bit later on. Dakota Allen could be a nice little guy that we transitioned to outside linebacker from Last Chance U fame. So what I'm going to do with this pick is we're going to go Rodney Anderson from Oklahoma because we don't have, there's no scheme fits here, and he's an absolute stud. Bryce Love's there. We need like a power run. That's the power. What's the closest thing we can get to a power run? It's not going to be Bryce Love. Bryce Love is very, very small. So Oh, this is actually tough, though, because I know so many people wanted Bryce Love. And if I get Rodney Anderson, there's going to be a bunch of upset people saying, but then also you're going to get people, well, clearly get the 7.7 combine grade. Look at that, 4.52. He excelled. Screw it, we're going Rodney Anderson. We're not going to overthink it. 79 star. I think I was pretty generous with a lot of the running backs now that I'm thinking about it. I know a lot of we were probably 1 or 2 points ahead or behind Bryce Love, but for best scheme fit for our team, it is going to be Ron Anderson. Even though he's a 73 power back, the 222, his play style, we actually use him in game, is going to be much more closer to a power back than, say, Bryce Love, who's struggling to push 200 pounds. Third round is here, and see, look, Bryce Love is still there. People are scared of these frail backs. They want to get the power back, so I feel great that we got Rodney Anderson when we needed to. So now it is time to see what we can get in terms of linebacker and offensive line. That's where we really want to go. So we look at offensive linemen. We'll look at what we have scouted for our draft board. Left tackle, we have 2 tackles now. Oh, we actually don't. That's a lie. We don't have 2 tackles. So we do have this guy, Lupau, that's not that great, to be completely honest with you. The interior guard, I mean, Bo Benchwale, we didn't really scout him. He has decent bench press reps. Some all right centers here for sure. But here's what we're going to do. As I stated, I think Michael Jordan here is going to be the best of the bunch at the right tackle spot. And we need a good offensive line. I feel like we can compensate for the linebackers defensively. We still have a couple playmakers. Like we got some C's, but when you look at the offensive line, there's C's, there's no grades, there's D's. We got to go O-line. And a guy like Michael Jordan with that size and length, we could very easily be able to convert him to the left tackle spot. So we're going to select Michael Jordan out of Ohio State. And that is all right. It's an all right pick. 72. Not a perfect scheme fit. A couple points off. Not gonna lie. Little bit of a buzzkill with that selection. All right, so our plan did not work out. Connor McGovern is gone here in the 4th round where we thought he was. We have Larry Allen Jr. Look at that. All B's. The son of great Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman Larry Allen. His size is not that great. 288 pounds. What do we got here at center still? Eldon Jenkins is still there at center. I'm liking the look of that. But what do we got at linebacker? Because linebacker is another spot that I do want to kind of focus in on if we can. I mean, we got Dakota Allen. What's he supposed to be? Late 5th rounder. So I feel like Dakota Allen, there's not a whole lot there at outside linebacker. Oh, that's actually not looking bad. Ulysses Gilbert from Akron. That could be an interesting guy to bring in. But we don't... I feel like we just need one linebacker to bring in. So here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to go down here. We're going to reach for Larry Allen's kid. 30 reps on the bench press. Please be better than 73. 73 star. A 73 star rating for Larry Allen Jr. And he's only 1 point off becoming a scheme. So that's going to be very easy to make him a scheme fit. So we're a little bit down on the Michael Jordan pick. Larry Allen Jr. bringing it back. 5th round, pick 6. We're going with what we saw. We're going Dakota Allen, the middle linebacker, last chance U fame, Texas Tech. This guy is absolutely a tackle machine. So Dakota Allen, 72 normal. Welcome to the squad. All right, now in the 6th round, pick 6. This is a guy we've had our eyes on for a little bit. Not a scheme fit, but I am intrigued by the skill set. Ulysses Gilbert from Akron, so we're going to select him. He's a 72 normal. So we're keeping the 70s alive. No pick in the 60s, and there's a bunch of 60s that I remember. So, hey, we'll take it. Ulysses Gilbert going to be able to add some competition with Matt Milano for the opposing side of the linebacking core. All right, we're now here in the 7th round where I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty much just going to grab a guy that's a scheme fit. We have some kickers and some punters. I really do think a kicker might not be terrible, but I think that when we actually use Hauschka, he has 94, 95 kick power. We'll be able to utilize that. We don't need safety help at all, and I don't have a feeling that we're going to get a message from a Mrs. X Poyer to release Jordan Poyer. So looking at guys that are scheme fits, we have Malik Rozier at quarterback, Derwin Gray at offensive lineman, Jonathan Crawford at strong safety, Jamal Dean, but that D man coverage is scaring me off. So we're just going to play it safe, go offensive line. We'll get Derwin Gray from Maryland, and he turns out to be a 71 quick. Not only is he a scheme fit, he has that very nice quick dev. And we managed to get an entire draft without grabbing a 60 overall player, which is a very, very good thing. So let's get a full draft recap now. So as the draft finishes out, nothing too crazy. Not like I was able to hoard all the good picks. That is pretty much a standard draft for me if you've ever looked. Maybe we'd have 160, but in terms of player value, this is like an average draft. I did not dominate, but we got some great players. Greedy Williams, 80 overall, superstar corner out of LSU. In my opinion, the best corner I've seen in quite some time in college football. We got Rodney Anderson at running back. We took him over Bryce Love, which may be upsetting to a couple of you, but for me, I think it was a great fit. Ended up being a great pick too. 79 with a star dev. We have a replacement for LaShawn McCoy. We got Michael Jordan, the right tackle at Ohio State. Larry Allen, the son of Larry Allen. Dakota Allen from no relation, but from Last Chance U, Ulysses Gilbert, and Derwin Gray. So we'll get a quick summary of where other players have gone. The Jags, they got Jeffrey Simmons, Justice Hill. Jets got Shaq Quarterman with their first-round pick. They got a very nice value pick there. Lavert Hill from Michigan, 76. Detroit Lions went Anfernee Jennings, very Bill Belichick-esque pick, so that's not surprising that they actually made that. The Green Bay Packers went wide receiver with N'Keal Harry. They got Marvell Tell in the second round. Look at that. They had even a better draft than us, did the Green Bay Packers. We got the Carolina Panthers, got Rashawn Gary, 79. A couple good picks there. Patriots got A.J. Brown. He's a 78. Bryce Love, 77. So we took Rodney Anderson, who was a 79 star. Bryce Love is here. He is a 77 quick. So that was a decent, a couple 60s, a decent pick for us. Raiders, Amon Richards. They got David Montgomery. That was the other running back that was up there. He is a 78 quick as well. So clearly the 7-7 grade running back was always going to be the best. Not a great draft here from the Rams. No one really big. Devin White went to the Ravens. He is an 80 overall. Jesus, another great linebacker. Don't know what their plan is with CJ. Well, no, he fits. Him and CJ Mosley. That is a terrifying middle linebacking core. We got the Redskins. They got Josh Allen, not the quarterback. Dalton Risner, 77 center. Saints went Tevon Coney. Well, obviously they didn't have the first round pick, but there they got Connor McGovern. This is who we were kind of looking at, 74 normal. So it's not like we're missing out on a whole lot. Look, they had a bunch of 60s and low 70s. Seattle Seahawks got Montez Sweat from Mississippi State. Pittsburgh Steelers went Shea Patterson. They went after the quarterback, the guy that we're not sure yet if he's going to play football or baseball. They decided for him to be the successor to Ben Roethlisberger as they're giving up on the Mason Rudolph experiment, which is kind of annoying for realism. Ben Powers, they got all 70s. Clelin Ferrell went to the Houston Texans. That's definitely one thing they needed, was another terrifying defensive lineman. Really good draft there. Titans had an average draft. Vikings got Greg Little, 79 overall tackle. Bears, I was actually pretty much the tackle we wanted, but he was already gone at pick 2, 79 star. We got the Chicago Bears. They went quarterback. Oh, that's annoying. Stop drafting stupidly, AI in Madden. Why would they do that? Mr. Trubisky was like on the friggin' MVP list. Oh, dumb pick. I mean, you see dumb picks in real life, but that is frustrating, man. You spend all this time creating a draft class, and you still have some sabotage going on. Bengals got Michael Dieter, 77 guard, as they continue to build up the offensive line. Ed Oliver went number 3 to the Denver Broncos. 83 superstar, best player in the draft. He's a freak of nature. Then they got Caleb Wilson, 78 overall tight end. Really good draft there. Got a lot of value. Cleveland Browns, Dexter Lawrence. That's pretty good. Tampa Bay Bucks got Jonah Williams, Jaquan Johnson, 2 back-to-back 75 pluses. Cardinals got Nick Bosa at pick 4. He is 80 superstar. They got DeAndre Baker, the corner, 77 star, and a bunch of 70s. Chargers got Jarrett Stidham, pretty good. You got the Kansas City Chiefs. They got Michael Jackson, David Edwards. Again, a lot of 70s. That's probably the one thing I could say about my draft class. There was a lot of 70s, but not a lot of elite players. I felt like that was the better balance. They got Joe Jackson for the Colts, not a bad pick. Dallas Cowboys got Raekwon Davis and Paris Campbell, 4 straight 75s. So, I mean, the Cowboys rating guy must be just juiced at the gills because of that. Drew Lock went to the Miami Dolphins, 77 overall star dev quarterback. Philadelphia Eagles went Max Sharping. A lot of value there for them. Atlanta Falcons went Nate Herbig, 77 overall. 49ers went Trey Adams. We actually passed on Trey Adams. He is 78 star at the offensive line. Really good draft there for the 49ers. Giants went Justin Herbert at pick 1. Good for them, man. That is going to be not a fun team to see in the playoffs. Justin Herbert, Saquon Barkley, as one hell of a tandem. And they got Christian Wilkins in the second round. That is huge. 78 overall D tackle. We have the Huskies, and we're back to the Huskies. So I think the only criticism you could see from my rosters is there is a lot of guys that are between like the 70, 73 kind of range. But there is, I did that for a reason. And the reason is I want to see these rookies not all... It's try to compensate for the AI. Because I want these rookies to develop and grow on these teams. Not just constantly end up in the practice squad. Constantly end up getting cut. And when these guys get cut, they end up going to the free agency market. And then they disappear after a year or two. I didn't want to edit them like that. So that's why we had some liberties to make more 70s than what you would really see. But I made sure to put emphasis on the star players feeling like star players. And that is what you've seen. So that is our draft class. Now it's time to finally start the season with the Toronto Huskies. All right, so this is going to be the last of the long episodes because we are here in the preseason. I'm going to sim the first 3 preseason games, and then we're actually going to get in for that final preseason game against the New Orleans Saints to get you some gameplay. I want to play with them. The anticipation has been killing me. But first, we need to show just what our roster is going to look like heading into the season. Now, vertical zone run is not the best scheme fit. We could look elsewhere, but it best suits our skill position players, and I feel like we can develop our offensive line to make that better because, look, we can go a bunch of other things. We're never going to go spread. Spread's just too overpowered. Multiple zone run actually looks pretty good, to be honest with you. But multiple zone run doesn't give us... What do you call it? Watch this. When we go multiple zone run, it does not give Josh Allen the actual, the scheme fit. He's 78. I think it's a 76 field general. So, you know what? It is better just to stick with the vertical run for now. And then we can look elsewhere. And base 4-3 makes sense. The 46 defense is pretty much the spread offense of Madden 18. It's going to work with most teams. So we're just going to go ahead and not cheese it out there. And we'll stay with the base 4-3. Now, the offense stays pretty much the same. We have a couple rookies starting. We're going Larry Allen Jr. at left guard. Gray, our late round pick, will be starting at right guard. Michael Jordan will be starting at right tackle. Rodney Anderson will be our backup / power back / third down back. We have Chris Conley will be a wide receiver 4. On the defensive side, you better believe Greedy Williams is going to start on the outside with Trey White. We'll have Mike Hilton, our big free agency signing, starting in the slot. Harrison Phillips is now a starter at D tackle with Kyle Williams deciding to retire. Ulysses Gilbert, late round pick, is actually getting the nod right now, right outside linebacker. Gonna be interested to see if that pans out. Special teams remains the same. We have Agnew. Hopefully he can get a lot of big plays for us. And here is how we're gonna be rocking our specialists. So let's get in. We'll sim out these first few preseason games. Hopefully do better than what we did last year, and we can hit the ground running week 1 against the Dolphins. So far, not so good in the preseason. 0-3. We had no points scored against the Dallas Cowboys as we got shut out 25-0. We're not even going to look at the box score because that was probably pretty bad. Then we lost to the Jags 24-7. The Jags do have a lot of depth, so it's always going to be a tough one. We had just not a hot game from Josh Allen, to be honest with you. And then to finish it, we have Seattle, who we lost 28-14 to. Again, just not a great effort. Trace McSorley coming in and actually looking pretty good as Josh Allen struggles a little bit. But we're going to be taking over this game against the Saints, and hopefully we're going to be able to find some form of success. But before we do that, we need to look at cutting 6 players off our roster. So McDermott, you can go. Malachi Dupree, you can go. Breon Borders, you can go. We'll send Austin Proles to the practice squad. Same with Teron Johnson, and same with Christian Campbell. Very easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So we'll probably open up the next episode by checking the free agency market and seeing maybe what kind of guys might have got slipped through the cracks. Man, on practice squad could be worthwhile. But let's finally get some game action here with the Huskies for a quick highlight reel. 4th and 1. Sending Kelvin Benjamin outside. He is going to be our main read because he's a red zone threat and he's 7,000 pounds. Come on. All right, A.J. McCarron has actually been able to manufacture a drive to get down the 1, and now we get to see if the C4 special is well in effect before the beginning of the season as we got old man Chris Ivory takes it in for the lead. 2nd and goal on the 4. Let's see if we can continue to light him up. Baby, we got some starters out there still. Coach not happy. Wants to see some fire. And McCarron connects with Corey Coleman. What's Corey Coleman's signature celebration? Oh, he's okay. Cool. And there we go. Not official, but still counts. First win in Toronto Huskies history. Will be much more impactful when it's our first official regular season win next week against the Miami Dolphins in the opener. But still, not a bad showing from all parties. But Karen looked nice. Josh Allen was effective. Running the ball was not too bad. Chris Ivory, about as perfect of a game Chris Ivory could hope for. 2 carries, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns. Big game from Chris Conley. We paid a decent amount of money in free agency too. 70 catches, 143 yards. We got on the defensive side 8 tackles from Keenan Robinson, a sack from Shaq Lawson. No turnovers to speak of, but hey, it's a preseason win. Let's pop out of this. Let's get everything set up for episode 4 and the regular season. So the time is finally here. Week 1 at the Den, hosting the Miami Dolphins. What a time to be alive. Football in Canada. Looking at our team. Oh, look at that. We got a 1 point here for Mr. Josh Allen. Might as well make him a 79. Just oozing in confidence as we get ready to take on what should be, a game we figure that we should be competitive in. We're a 75 overall team, so we're probably bottom 5 in the league in total talent. Our offensive line looks like a mess. But it doesn't matter because we're the Toronto Huskies and we're going to get the damn job done. So thank you guys for tuning in to episode 3. Again, apologies for, I don't know if this is like the normal pace we should be taking or not, but it's the way we're going. Finally, we're going to get back into a normally viewed franchise mode next week, literally a couple days from now, but the next week of the season. So I hope you guys are still sticking with me. I hope you guys did enjoy the draft and the players that we were able to bring in. And as always, if it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. The Husky series is going to be the best series on YouTube. I promise, I guarantee you. The editing skills are on fire this year. We're only going to continue and get bigger and better, bigger explosions, Michael Bay effects, Jordan Poyer's ex-wife effects, all kinds of effects. So make sure you tune in next time, and I'll catch you then. Till next time, C4, saying peace out.
A living legend when I die, know I said it here. Need them tennis chains hanging out that cashmere. Always been a G, running crazy at my fear. Gotta